Hey, what's up? Are you totally new to recording heavy music? Or maybe you have some experience but you want some tips from an actual pro? Well, then this video is for you. My name's Fern. I've been producing and playing in heavy bands for over 2 decades, and I'll show you how to record your songs in a way that'll leave you with good sounding demos, but more importantly, give you the flexibility to be able to send those files to a producer for them to make it sound like a modern pro release. So I'm gonna assume that most of you have a basic 2-channel interface like this Focusrite and a computer that you're working off. That's pretty much a given. Those 2 channels are gonna be totally fine. We'll make them work even for live drums. If you aren't married to any particular DAW or using any specific one, I personally recommend Reaper. It's super small, super easy to use. It's got a free trial and it's not gonna bog down your system. Also, the template that I'm using in this video is gonna be in the description below, so go ahead and click that link if you wanna grab that. For live drums, we'll be using the Yamaha EAD. If you don't have this or just want to roll with some MIDI programmed drums or connect an eKit to a library, that's totally cool. You go ahead and do that. I personally hate programming MIDI drums and find it very time consuming, so I'm not going to be going over that. For guitars and bass, we're going to have a free amp sim that you guys can download in the description below as well. And lastly, for vocals, I'm going to just be using a SM7B that I'm using currently. All right, so first off, we're going to want to track a scratch track for the song. Grab a guitar, figure out the tempo, and then just play a rough take. This is just to give the drummer something to follow along to while they're recording. Once you've gone through the song, you shed something that roughly looks kind of like this. Small mistakes and flubs are totally fine, as long as you're on beat and there's not something super crazy or drastic that's gonna mess the drummer up. Next, we're gonna go through and map out our sections. This should only take a few minutes. It'll help you visually identify the different parts of your song, and it's just gonna save you a ton of time as you go through the rest of this process. So now we'll track drums. So we're gonna run the EAD in stereo. Does a pretty good job of picking up an entire live kit, which is why I like it. And you don't need to have a ton of experience working with live drums for it to sound halfway decent. Now, you're gonna record along to that scratch guitar. And if you mess up, just stop. You can just roll it back a few bars and just punch in and just continue on. Remember to play confidently and stay on beat. This is non-negotiable. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you mess up, drag, or rush, it's gonna make everyone recording after you have a much harder time. Once you've got that down, we'll start recording guitars for real. If you have a DI, plug your guitar into the DI and then run the DI output into your interface. If you don't have a DI, that's okay, but just make sure that you're not clipping the gain when you're going into your interface if you're gonna run it direct. For rhythms, we're gonna do a stereo pair, a left and a right. And if your song has any leads or special effect guitars or things like that, I usually just do them up to taste. It's cool if it's only one in the center or if there's one on the left and the right. It's really just up to taste and personal preference and the specific part. The tracking methods are the same as drums. Be confident in your playing, play with some energy, and make sure that everything is as tight as possible. If you mess up a part, again, just roll it back a few bars and punch it in. By the end, you should have a pretty solid performance. Be sure to double check your punches. This goes for drums as well. Make sure the fades are good, then glue it all into one file so that your session doesn't look like a mess. Repeat the whole process through bass, and then you should have something that sounds like this. Now that we've got a really solid base for our vocals to go on, now we'll get started on vocals. Grab some blankets, towels, whatever you have, and then make like a little area for your vocalists to track in. Give them tons of room temperature water. They gotta make sure that they stay hydrated as well. I always have a vocalist record an entire warm-up take just to kind of figure out and see where all the vocals are going to be. And then I have them go back and do them in little chunks at a time. And again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but confident takes, good energy, solid delivery. That's the secret to making great sounding records. Once you've gone through the song and have an entire like mainline vocal track, you can go back and start adding layers, doing stacks, things like that. Don't just sandwich the entire song though. That shit is lazy and honestly, it just doesn't sound very good. You want some contrast and dynamics between your vocal sections, so just put a little bit of thought and effort into this part. After this entire process, your demo should sound a little like this. This is totally perfect for cataloging music and working through ideas when you're writing music. If you finished a song and you think it's good enough and you want to take it to like the next level, you can turn off all the effects in the sessions, stem it out like this, and then you can send the files to someone like me to turn into something that sounds like this. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this video helped you out. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions. All the links to everything that I used in this video are going to be in the description below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. All right, thanks so much for watching again. Goodbye. Mwah.